ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring the cast of Scream out here. Allow me to reintroduce you to Matthew Lillard, Stu Macher from the Scream franchise. From the Scream franchise, none other than Jamie Kennedy. And one more time, last but not least, we have Skeet Ulrich, a.k.a.
You guys, oh yeah. This is how we usually do it. So what we'll do. Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for being here. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here. So here's, we said to our lovely moderator, can we give it up for him real quick?
Yeah!
So here, instead of using a moderator, what we're going to do is he'll ask us a question or two to start out, and then we're immediately going to the audience. So if it's all right with you, we'd rather take this moment to let you ask the questions that you have burning in your heart. And look, we believe our job is to sort of represent in an authentic way our lives. It's not all fucking great. Some of it's really awesome. But some of our lives in being an actor and being an artist is really difficult. So as we go through, we'll try to just be as candid as we can and not just talk about how awesome everything is, if that's all right. So we'll do a few questions here, and then we'll go right to you guys. All right? So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the coffee.
Are there any mobile mics, by the way?
Yeah, they're on the things.
There are, absolutely.
And then we'll come to you, and we'll ask you a question.
If you do want to line up at the mics.
Yeah. Is this a church?
Yeah. It's a basketball court, dude.
That doubles as a church?
Yes.
Don't they all? There are certain rules to do Q&As in a church. Okay.
I think those apply here. I think we're all set.
These are meant.
Amen.
I do have to ask the obligatory questions just to kick this thing off.
No, I am not on Scream 6.
Thank you. Good night.
You don't even know that.
Check.
You don't even know that, actually.
I don't know that I believe that, but I do want to ask, back in 1996, when you were first approached with this script, what impression did it make on you? Did you have any idea that it was going to become the phenomenon that it is today, Jamie?
I knew it was original, it was incredible. I didn't approach with the script. I fought like hell to get an audition.
All right.
I only done a couple commercials, so when I read it, it was really quick to read, which is hard to do, the script. And it was just incredible. Then when we were making it, we all felt we had something really special. Did I know we'd be here 26 years later talking to you guys in a church? I did not predict that.
You did mention it one time.
One time, yes. And it's only getting bigger. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And we're lucky. We're blessed. It's awesome.
Same question, Skeet.
I mean, we had no idea what it would be. Wes was sort of not the go-to director at the moment, and although he had made brilliant films, he was, kind of, horror was floundering at the box office, and it was kind of a risk to be a part of, but we all read it and fell in love with it, and we read the original version, what it was. There was no... Now you can't even, it's hard to even get a script when you're trying to, get involved with a project. Nobody gets to read it.
Yeah.
Or there will be multiple versions of it, so nobody really knows the ending. We didn't have any of that then. There was no real worry about that. And so we got what you see is the film we read. So we just went by our instincts of, yeah, this is great material and will be a lot of fun. And who knows?
Well, kind of to your point, I guess, Matthew, I'll ask this of you. Do you feel like the current state of fandom in regards to people grabbing hold of leap scripts and all of these kind of things. Has that been a benefit or detrimental to the creative side of the project?
Look, anytime you have people showing up still today to celebrate films, period, it's a good thing, right? So if you have kids out there that are, like, I'm in a movie now called Five Nights at Freddy's. I will tell you, I've never experienced, and I literally was announced 2 weeks ago. I worked last week in New Orleans. I've never seen a voraciousness in a fan base like I've seen in this fan base. So I think that's an amazing thing about the film, about these kids. A lot of times people are identifying with the things they love, and that helps them identify who they are. So if that's how you want to fly your flag, then let it fly.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
All right, who has a question? It's the first question. Is it going to suck or is it going to be good? It's going to suck. I can see it in your eyes. I'm kidding. No pressure. Don't fuck it up. Sometimes I cuss. I'm fucking sorry. Kids, Shaggy's hammered.
So, aside from a paycheck, what was your favorite part about playing your characters? Like, what drew you to your paycheck?
That's a great question. Also, the chicks. That was pause perfect. What, Jamie, why are you an actor?
I want
Chicks.
Yeah, and I like the attention that my mom didn't give me. Is that too real? We're in church. But, and I love, come on, man, look at this. This is why we do it. You guys.
That's not why you started, though. So you were in Philadelphia, you moved to Los Angeles, you started doing stand-up in an acting school.
Yeah.
To pay, because you had no money.
Yeah.
But was it like...
You're really asking me why I was an actor.
I am not. She is.
Well...
Sailor Moon, dude.
Because I wanted to be loved.
That's not.
The things that you're not seeking, you want to be able to be loved, and I kept getting fired from Domino's. That's real. I could never get it there 30 or less.
Don't you fucking move.
What? Are you gonna love me?
That was a good question.
Thank you.
Skeet went to NYU. Why did you go to NYU?
I think probably a lot of people have things inside them that they have no idea how to tell people or how to express or how to, talk to other people about. Just feelings, emotions bubbling inside of us. And for me, it became a way to say things that were really painful in my life without implicating the people in my life. So the power of metaphor, the power of, the things that the characters are saying are a lot of times nothing at all about what we're thinking or feeling as human beings, but inside of that is our expression of our angst, our love, our passion, all of us. So I think that for me became very clear early in my life that it was a way for me to vent, if you will. And I think we all need that and deserve that. So very lucky to get paid for it, to be honest.
Horrible.
Yeah, you don't like that.
It is the story of a bunch of people trapped in a glass house with a portal to hell. If you like that movie, you have bad taste in movies. That's it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Funny thing about that movie is that it was in a glass house, and what happens if you put 100 lights in a glass house, it gets very, very, very hot. And we had all these practical effects, which means they had makeup. And so you would literally look at a ghost and shit would fall off his face. And you would be terrified because it looked terrifying. All right, who else has
Wait.
Yes.
What was your favorite kill?
parents.
Yeah.
You know what?
Child Protective Services, anyone?
I always love it when parents come up. My daughter loved your movie. She's one. Yeah. The gore. Girl, watch Barney.
What's your favorite kill?
That's it.
You have a favorite? No,
That is
don't push that. We're good.
That's a very child.
I like it when they kill Rose. So
Jesus.
you haven't seen the movie yet, but when you do someday, there's a scene where a young woman is. This is horrible. I'm not explaining it.
Stop it.
All right. That's
Play with My Little Pony.
okay.
Welcome to Florida.
Okay. Hold on.
What's your favorite dish?
All right, I have a question back here.
Okay, so this is. I feel like Scream. I love the movie. You guys are awesome. I feel like Scream was the beginning of a lot of the twists that we see in movies today. Now it's almost normal to have a twist in a movie. Did you guys know going into it? You knew you were villains from the very beginning?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, we read what you saw. Like, there was no false ending or anything. We read it, and I was so excited to play my first killer ever as an actor. And I did an interview with Interview Magazine right after I got cast, and they were asking what I was up to, and I was like, oh, I'm playing the killer in this new movie. No! And I was like, oh, but it didn't hit me till after I hung up the phone, so I called my PR person right away. I was like, you got to call them right now, like, and they squashed it. But I was so excited, I didn't even think, like. Yeah, but no, we knew. Yeah, we knew.
And that's when they decided to kill Skeet.
I actually auditioned for Skeet's role.
No!
It's a funny story. Why? You've heard this story like 100 times. Dude.
Acting. I was acting.
I can now see. No, I was about to say something really horrible. I auditioned for Skeet's role, and they looked at me and said, "Yeah, you're not the guy having sex with Nev Campbell." Anyway, and they said, "Will you come back in like 2 hours to meet Wes Craven? We want you audition for the Goofy Sidekick." And so in 2 hours, I sat there and I memorized another 8 pages of dialogue because our audition scene was the whole last sequence. So I had to memorize the entire last sequence, and then I walked in and I auditioned for Wes. 2 hours later, and in the room, he gave me the job.
Which never happened.
Wow.
He was like, "You should come play this role."
Hello, hi. I'm Gail Weathers right now.
Stormy Weathers.
So I wanted to ask all of you, yeah, everyone in the crowd. No, I wanted to ask y'all, what is another franchise, like a horror franchise you would like to be a part of? I know Matt was, he just started filming Five Nights at Freddy's, so I wanted to ask all three of you, what's like another horror franchise you would want to be a part of?
Jamie, where'd you go? What do you got?
Oh. I think it would be cool. I have to think about it. Probably,
No, take your time.
I know. I think it'd be cool to be involved in an Elm Street somehow, because it's Wes's OG baby. And I just think that's one of the original ones, so I think that'd be incredible. I think Randy would somehow still get killed in it. But.
You would be Randy in Elm Street. Okay. That'd be interesting.
Like a parallel universe, kind of
Right, yeah.
Tobey Maguire was another Spider-Man, and another, but like Randy. Okay.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I now when I think of franchises, I think more of like TV shows in a way. I'm hooked on The Last of Us right now. So. I'd be a part of that. I know it's not necessarily horror, but yeah.
I just want to say that I could not be more excited about being in Five Nights at Freddy's. It's been, just everyone has to understand, like, I haven't done a movie of this sort of level in a really long time. And no matter what you think of my career, my journey is always like, oh, I haven't done a movie in like 4 years. I have only done, TV recently, and you're like, I don't know if I'm getting that job again. Like, there's a level of fear. Like, you always think, oh yeah, I'm gonna work again, but at some point, there's a lot of actors that don't work again. And so in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, maybe I suck. And so this Five Nights at Freddy's has come along, and first of all, I could not be more excited than being in a big movie and playing this big bad guy. But the community and these kids and everything that's going on is like super positive for me and my mental state. It's been really powerful. So I'm thrilled to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
How did Scream prepare you for roles like Criminal Minds and FNAF?
Oh yeah, Criminal Minds.
Just like that.
I don't know. Listen, I have a moment in my life where something prepared me for a lot, right? So I was in this movie called SLC Punk, which I said before, hold your screams, so I'm gonna got it. And there's a moment in that movie where my character loses his best friend and he ends up crying. And so I have this thing, like, I want to be the best actor of a generation. I want to be an incredible actor. And so when I did that scene, I went to do the scene and I went to have this moment where Bob dies and nothing happened, right? So I spent the entire lunch working up like an emotional reaction that ended up getting captured in the movie. And what happened was I failed, right? I went to go do this scene, it sucked. I sat in this room all over lunch, like during lunch, I just sat in that room and worked up to a place that when they turned on the camera again, something incredible happened. And so for me, that moment was like, oh, it's really hard to be a great whatever it is. So you have to work your ass off at doing it. And so then I went back to class. After SLC Punk, I went back to class. I started teaching class. I started developing a technique. I was like, all these things that I had to do in that moment, I knew I was going to have to do again in my life. And so I did another thing with Twin Peaks. And there's a thing in Twin Peaks where he literally has to hysterically cry again. And so in the back of my mind, I knew that I had a technique. I knew I'd worked on how to do it. And I knew I could do it when called upon to do it. So nothing really from Scream changed my life. I mean, I'm still here. I'm still doing this. If I don't have Scream, I don't know if I still have this. But that, like, failing in that moment taught me a lot on how to, I didn't want to do that again, and how to do it right, and how to, like, build up technique. That was a really long, stupid answer. This dude's leaving, he's like, I'm out of here. We were doing the movie, and there's only one set phone. There's only one cell phone, it was the set phone. So I went to go use the set, that's how old we are. I went to go use the phone, and I was like, hey, can I use the phone? I had to call my mom, it's her birthday. And Wes Craven said, we were just talking about you. I'm like, oh yeah, what did you say? He's like, I was just saying to Marianne, the producer, that you're going to win an Academy Award one day. And I was like, oh yeah, I'd tell my mom that. He's like, you got it. Calls my mom and says, I just want you to know, it's Wes Craven, someday your son's going to win an Academy Award. So in those moments in my life, when I'm like, oh dude, I'm never working again. You have to have these little pieces of victory to get you to the next opportunity. And so for me, Wes Craven, I will literally close my eyes and I go to bed, and I'll think of all the moments in my life that I felt like I was an incredible actor. And that is one of those moments that I can hold on to and be like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to win an Academy Award. So for me, he's like, ugh, helps me go when shit is bad. Ooh,
that's a good question.
It's a hard question.
Oh, that's
That's a good question. I mean, you want me to start? Or do you just want it for those two? Jesus. Well, let me tell you something. You can never have sex. Sex equals death. Your kids here? All right, you broke the first rule.
You're dead.
I would say for me, there's a lot of sneaky ones because of you guys. Bring them back. And here's one I love that I forgot. There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend. What about you?
That's hilarious. I don't even think I even realized that line is out there.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Skeet?
I don't know. I mean, so many of them were so cool. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more
Huge.
creative. Yeah. Lots.
But you have one now that's again creeping up that we never knew. This one. Corn syrup. Do it for us one time. Give us a little corn syrup. Give us a little corn syrup. Just a teeny.
No. They can't handle the smoke.
Dude, tell us your line. Some of the best lines in the movie he made up.
Yeah, there's a moment in the movie when Skeet ran out of the room and he hit me with the phone, which was totally bullshit and rude.
It just happens sometimes.
The funny thing about that is that there's an F-bomb in front of that. He says, "You fucking hit me with the phone." Wait, you fucking hit me with the phone?
Yeah.
There's an
You hit me with the fucking phone, you dick.
You fucking hit me with the phone, you dick. By the way, he was like, "You shouldn't be hitting people with phones really hard on my close-up. Stop." Like, that's like a SAG rule. Don't hit people violently.
It didn't happen in the wide first?
No.
Oh, no.
The funny thing is...
Wes told me to do it.
Wes would never do that. But Tatum had an F-bomb earlier in the movie, and you're only allowed 2 F-bombs in a rated R film. A little piece of trivia. And so they took hers away and they gave it to me. Which I think she's still angry about, which is...
No, she's fucking angry, dude.
Oh wait, where's my man? Oh, here he is. Hold on.
So you do a lot of voice acting as well.
It's the best. I cherish it. I love it. I hold it. I take it very seriously. It is a day job that helps feed my kids. It is something that I am a caretaker of, and someday I will pass along to somebody else to do for the next 50 years. I'm in the middle of doing a series right now, and we are always doing it. Gray Delisle is hilarious. That's a creepy mask. Why are you taking out a knife? What are we eating, dude? I hope it's a cheeseburger. That actually was super fun for me. That was really
good. To film in Scream.
I mean, the kitchen sequence was, that was sort of the height of it all, for Matt and I, certainly. It just was the culmination of everything, the whole setup, and then the reveal, and then the blood and guts. So that, for me, was a lot of fun.
Same. That was an incredible sequence for us. Jamie?
I'd say the rules. Because it was so meta, like broke the fourth wall, and so many people felt like Randy, and so they would say the stuff to the screen that Randy was saying. And then the fact that I say, Jamie, look behind you, when Jamie's on the screen, and my name is Jamie.
That's the only sequence Matt and I ever wore the costume, was when you were shooting that. It's the only setups in the entire filming that he and I put the Scream costume on.
Is that true?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's a bomb that was just dropped right here. Really?
Yeah, we did like coming
Who
up
was behind me?
I was behind you on like take 4 or something, and he was behind you.
I did it after Skeet. I wanted to be like him.
Yeah. All right.
Makes well for portrayed.
Yeah, great question. Both are exactly the same. It's only funny if the stakes are really high, and it's only terrifying if the stakes are really high. So it's not. It's for me. It's literally the same thing. Thank you for your question.
I mean, that's kind of Wes's belief in a nutshell, wasn't it? That if you could get people on the edge of laughter, you also had them on the edge of fear and tears.
Yes.
So
Across the board.
I got one.
Yeah.
I see a wonderful coat. Come over here, Cruella. I'll hold it. Jesus, you reached real quick. I'll hold it again. Why are you grabbing my phone, girl?
So this question is for all of you.
You start with Skeet.
let her ask her question.
So being in this industry for quite a while, like growing through your adulthood in it, does it feel like, how does it feel being part of something people consider nostalgic?
Old. There's no other way to say that shit than old.
Wait, was that a compliment or a diss? Wait, listen, I just want to tell you, I'm a living Throwback Thursday. Is that what you're saying? Let me tell you, I'm going to start. It's incredible. Like, the fact that we're still here 26 years later, and it's only hotter than ever. Like, there's billboards all over Hollywood. We're completely blessed. I'm sure these guys are going to say the same. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think when you do what you love, like, it's kind of a blink of an eye in a lot of ways, like from, you know, the start of a career to right now, which to me will probably be somewhere near the midpoint or past the midpoint. I don't think of retirement or the length of it or anything. And the fact that so long ago we made something that people are into, that you know, everybody's still making things that people are into, and it's bizarre, but it's really badass.
And it rises other projects too that they find about us.
I have to say, it is a little weird to step on set and be somebody that people grew up with around, who are working around you, and we've become elder statesmen in this industry. And so that is a very strange thing. Do you have more? I know you have 1,000 questions.
I want to ask one for sure. I hope you guys enjoy this question. When people pick these movies apart, the first one in particular, there are YouTubers that are making theory videos about, was it Stu or was it Billy and certain kills in the movie. Are they missing the point, or is that something that Wes discussed with you?
Great question. Nobody has any idea who killed who. And like literally we had the 20th anniversary screening with Kevin Williamson, and somebody asked that exact question. He's like, zero idea. Because I think you have to understand what Skeet was saying earlier, is that nobody had an expectation of this status, which is sort of one of the great things about the first movie. There was nothing built in to assume it'd be anything else other than just another horror movie. And it ascended to something different. But because of that, nobody felt you were doing something special, so you all show up, work, and do your job. And in fact,
you know, they had shot the beginning sequence with Drew, and Miramax was pulling the plug on it. They were going to stop production. It took Wes and a couple of the producers cutting together the beginning segment and sending it to Bob and Harvey, and them approving us going forward. They were like, oh, okay, now we get it, keep going. But that's how, you know, kind of perilous the whole thing was. We had no clue sort of where we were going, and if we were going to continue to go, let alone that we'd be sitting here. So
I got one over here.
audience too. If you could have played any other character in like the entirety of the Scream franchise, like all of the movies, who would you play?
Nev Campbell's role.
It's the most lucrative.
She's still alive. She's still alive. That's obvious. And then I get to make out with Skeet. I don't know what that was.
Slam dunk, baby, slam dunk.
You can't see my foot, but it's up. All right, we're rounding the... by the way, nice cosplay up there. Thank you.